Thank you for joining us today on the Gifts of God. May this message find you in peace and grace, and may the Lord bless your day. We are deeply honored to share this extraordinary event that has unfolded in the heart of the French countryside, one that carries a profound divine warning for all of humanity. As we journey through this film, we invite you to reflect and prepare, as the events shared today are vital for all believers. In the quiet, serene parish of Saint-Pierre, led by Father Michel Rodrigue, a place renowned for its steadfast faith and perseverance, an extraordinary event took place that would forever alter the lives of all who witnessed it. The peaceful morning mass, set in the tranquility of the countryside, was bathed in the gentle light streaming through the church's stained glass windows, casting a radiant array of colors upon the stone floor. The air was rich with the sweet scent of wildflowers, mingling with the aroma of incense, creating an atmosphere of reverence and quiet devotion. However, this peaceful setting was soon interrupted by an awe-inspiring celestial event. As Father Michel stood at the altar, the church was suddenly filled with a blinding light, so powerful and overwhelming that even Father Michel had to shield his eyes. It was as if the heavens themselves had descended upon that sacred place, casting a brilliance that left everyone in awe and trembling with a mix of fear and reverence. The light was not just beautiful but profoundly spiritual, signifying the presence of something extraordinary. From this radiant light, the mighty Archangel Michael appeared, his wings spreading with celestial grandeur. His presence filled the church with an otherworldly power, as his face radiated both wisdom and divine beauty. His eyes, though soft, carried the weight of infinite knowledge, and his posture was both majestic and commanding. In his hand, the sword of righteousness burned brightly, a symbol of his unwavering resolve to defend the faithful and combat the forces of darkness. Father Michel, in awe, knelt before this mighty angel as Archangel Michael spoke directly to him. His message was not one of comfort, but one of dire warning, a prophecy foretelling a time of immense suffering and trial. He spoke of a period of great tribulation that would befall humanity, especially in Europe. The forces of evil would surge, and the world would experience suffering on an unprecedented scale. Despite this looming darkness, Archangel Michael urged that the faithful remain steadfast, praying with fervor and unwavering trust in God's plan. The Archangel's message, while somber, was not without hope. He urged all to remain united in prayer, to embrace the strength of their faith, and to trust in God's protection. As the world was about to face an overwhelming storm of trials, natural disasters, societal upheaval, and spiritual attacks, the Archangel Michael called on the faithful to prepare themselves spiritually. The power of prayer, devotion, and the intercession of the Virgin Mary would be crucial during these times. We must not be fearful, but rather resolute in our commitment to God, our faith, and each other. Father Michel was deeply moved by the message. It was a call to action, an urgent plea for the world to recognize the gravity of what was to come. The events that lay ahead would be nothing short of terrible, and Europe, in particular, would experience the weight of this suffering. Yet, even amidst this looming darkness, the Archangel's words were clear. Trust in God, hold fast to your faith, and unite in prayer. Together, with the protection of St. Michael and the Virgin Mary, we can weather any storm. This divine message is a wake-up call for all believers. As we approach a time of trials, we must fortify ourselves spiritually, mentally, and physically. Our preparation begins with prayer, repentance, and a commitment to living in alignment with God's will. The Archangel's message is not just a warning, but also an invitation to draw closer to the divine, to find solace in God's protection, and to trust that through our prayers and faith, we can emerge victorious. Let us heed this call with urgency and devotion. The time to act is now, for the challenges ahead are significant. As we face this uncertain future, let us do so with the confidence that God is with us, guiding and protecting us through the intercession of Archangel Michael and the Virgin Mary. May we stand firm in our faith and be ever vigilant in our prayers, so that when the trials come, we will be ready to face them with strength and hope. Thank you for joining us today. If this message has touched your heart, please share it with others. Let us continue to spread the light of God's truth and prepare for the challenges that lie ahead, standing together in faith and prayer. In a time marked by spiritual darkness, the Archangel Michael delivered a sobering prophecy, warning of an era dominated by the malevolent forces of Satan. Global leaders, he foresaw, would fall under the sway of this dark power, causing a profound corruption of their consciences. This evil influence would not only destroy the moral fabric of societies, but would lead to the disintegration of governments, the infiltration of corruption into our institutions, and a direct assault on religious integrity. The vision he shared was unsettling in its clarity. Nations would crumble, freedoms would be curtailed, and a shadow of despair would loom over the very foundations of civilization. The world would find itself in chaos, where truth would be distorted, justice would falter, and the light of faith would struggle to shine through the encroaching darkness. Yet, in the midst of this dire warning, Archangel Michael offered a beacon of hope. His message was clear and unyielding. Although the world would face unimaginable trials, God's protection would never falter. The faithful would be shielded by His grace, provided they remained steadfast in prayer and penance. In these trying times, prayer and devotion would serve as the fortress against the evil that threatened to overtake the world. Archangel Michael's words were not just a warning, but a call to action for the faithful to unite in prayer, with their religion standing as the bulwark against the forces of darkness. The strength of their devotion and the resilience of their hearts would be the key to enduring the storm. Among those called to lead was Father Michel Rodrigue, who was appointed by the Archangel to guide his flock through the approaching turmoil. In addition to his pastoral duties, Father Michel was tasked with imparting the power of the Immaculate Heart of Mary and the Rosary as the divine instruments of protection against the evil that was to come. As this divine calling unfolded, the small parish of St. Pierre became a spiritual refuge. People from all walks of life came to witness the miracle of faith, seeking solace and protection in the chapel. The once quiet and tranquil parish was transformed into a center of intense spiritual activity. Father Michel led the faithful in daily prayers, holy processions, and periods of deep reflection. Each act of devotion, no matter how small, served to strengthen the bonds of the community, fortifying their collective spirit in the face of a rapidly darkening world. The prophecy given by Archangel Michael began to unfold before their very eyes. Instability, both political and social, started to seep into the wider world beyond the walls of St. Pierre. Yet, within the parish, the community's faith remained unwavering. The more the world outside descended into chaos, the more the faithful drew together, determined to withstand the tide of evil with the power of prayer and devotion. Each prayer became a battle cry against the forces of darkness, each rosary a shield of light protecting them from harm. Under Father Michel's steadfast leadership, the community remained resolute. His unwavering spirit, coupled with the spiritual guidance he received from the Archangel Michael, kept their faith strong. As the world outside continued to unravel, they stood united in their belief that through their prayers and devotion, they could withstand the greatest of trials. Their faith became their shield, their unity a testament to the power of God's love, and their devotion an act of defiance against the forces of evil. In these trying times, it is more crucial than ever for us to follow the path laid out by Archangel Michael and Father Michel. Prayer, penance, and the intercession of the Virgin Mary through the Rosary will be our greatest weapons. The darkness may encircle us, but as long as we remain steadfast in our faith, we can be sure that God's divine protection will lead us through the storm. Let us unite in prayer, prepare our hearts for the challenges ahead, and draw near to God, knowing that He is our refuge and our strength. The time to act is now, for the battles we face require not just physical preparation, but spiritual vigilance. May we find refuge in the Immaculate Heart of Mary, whose light will guide us through the darkness, and may we always trust in the protection of the Archangel Michael as he leads us to victory. The story of St. Pierre reached its dramatic conclusion with Father Michel's second vision, a pivotal moment that would forever mark the history of his community. As the shadows of despair deepened across the world, Archangel Michael appeared once again. His radiant presence cut through the thickening gloom like a beacon of divine light, offering a stark contrast to the darkness that seemed to be enveloping the planet. His message was one of reassurance and urgency. Despite the overwhelming challenges they faced, they could always rely on the protection of heavenly forces. Their collective faith and perseverance, he assured them, would lead to a hard-won victory in the end. Father Michel and the people of Saint Pierre, drawn together by the strength of their faith and their unwavering devotion, were revitalized by this divine visitation. The town, once a quiet and peaceful place, had now become a bastion of spiritual resistance and hope. The teachings of the Immaculate Heart of Mary and the power of the Rosary had become their unshakable shield, and each recitation of the Rosary served to strengthen their protection, fortifying them for the trials ahead. As the days passed, the power of their faith became evident in the way they united, their prayers forming a barrier against the growing darkness. Archangel Michael's words rang in their ears, but it was the strength of their shared belief that made them unyielding. They knew that the victory would come, but it would be earned through persistence, through trust in God's plan, and through their relentless devotion to the Virgin Mary and the divine protection she offered. At the end of the trial, a final message from God came to the people of Saint Pierre. Archangel Michael spoke again, delivering a prophecy that illuminated the path ahead. He proclaimed the arrival of the long-awaited triumph, a victory that would demonstrate the enduring power of faith and the inevitable triumph of good over evil. This victory would not be an easy one, but it was assured, for no darkness could overpower the light of God's truth and love. For the people of Saint Pierre, this prophecy marked the dawn of a new era, a time of hope, renewal, and spiritual rebirth. The world, once torn asunder by chaos and despair, would rise again, led by the divine hand of justice. Father Michel, standing at the forefront of this spiritual revolution, was filled with a deep sense of gratitude and fulfillment. He had been chosen not only as a priest, but as a guide, a shepherd to his flock during one of the most tumultuous periods in human history. The journey through darkness had not only tested their faith, but had forged an unshakable bond between them. The community of Saint Pierre, once a small and unassuming parish, had become a living symbol of faith's resilience, a beacon of divine victory that illuminated the surrounding darkness. As the days turned into weeks, and the trials began to subside, the people of Saint Pierre continued to stand firm. Their faith had not only survived, it had flourished. The church, which had once seemed like just another small place of worship, had become a sanctuary for all who sought refuge in the light of God. It was a place where believers could find strength in prayer, solace in community, and hope in the face of adversity. When the world began to emerge from the ashes of tragedy, the memory of Saint Pierre and Father Michel continued to resonate. Their story would live on as a testament to the power of faith, a powerful illustration of how unwavering devotion can overcome even the darkest forces. The triumph of light over darkness, of good over evil, would forever stand as a reminder of God's unfailing grace and the strength that faith can provide in the most challenging of times. As we reflect on this extraordinary journey, let it be a call to action for each of us. In these turbulent times, we must fortify our spirits and lean into our faith. Like the people of Saint Pierre, we must trust in the divine protection offered by God, the intercession of the Virgin Mary, and the strength of our prayers. Together, we can face any trial with courage and hope, knowing that God's light will always prevail. Thank you for being a part of this journey. Your presence here, your belief, and your devotion to the divine are what give meaning to these stories. May you find hope, strength, and inspiration in the lessons of faith and perseverance, and may God's grace shine brightly in your life.